Good day, good afternoon, and good evening to your time zone. Today I would like to speak to you about a topic which many people have considered either unethical or have a problem with it, which is about artificial intelligence. To most of us, artificial intelligence might end up as the culmination of a lot of science and technology, which would allow us to create humans and thinking patterns equal to us. But is it really necessary? Would there be disadvantages? Of course there would, and I would like to explain to you those disadvantages as they. Is it really possible to completely and utterly replicate us humans in an artificial manner? I mean, we've gone through millions and millions of years of evolution, and that has taken its toll on ourselves and our way to adapt, to think, to feel. Could machines really replicate this? And if they could, what does that mean for us? Would it really be a boon, or would it be a bane? Would there be any form that the machines overpower us in later decades? So, what exactly are some of the more important complications of artificial intelligence? Well, besides, being capable of doing more than us, there are some other things that they will be able to take over. I have outlined a couple of basic principles that they will affect us in the future. So, two important parts I placed upon the problems with artificial intelligence. The first of them being better productivity will replace humans in jobs. This is a serious problem. If we are deprived of our jobs, we won't have anywhere to harness and channelize our energies. We won't be able to make our expertise in those fields. Also, there are some jobs that cannot be replaced with robots because they require that special human touch. And not having a job could lead to other things such as unemployment, which will lead to poverty, possibly increased crime, and mental depression. The other piece would be, since it possesses computer components that can and will be hacked, or worse. And imagine an entire society of artificial intelligence robots, and someone comes in and hacks them all, and they're under their control. What are we to do? They could overpower us, and in the end, overtake us.
How many robots have ever committed a crime? How many robots in the world? None.
Aside from the two first components, there are also three things that AI does not have that we do have. First, AI does not have ethical or moral values. The absence of ethical or moral values means that the artificial intelligence will not have the capacity to take right from wrong. That can be a problem in a situation where he has to tell those differences apart, and will also mean that they won't be able to differentiate as we can in those situations. Second important factor that the AI does not possess. AI does not possess feelings. Absence of feelings means that no matter how smart, how talented, and how powerful that AI is, it still won't be considered a human and won't understand us as humans, because feelings is what makes us most human. The fact that they don't have any means that they will always be machines, no matter what they do. Now, artificial intelligence is a risky proposition and a difficult one. I mean, just imagine how hard it would be to try and recreate the complexities and machinations of a mind. And I'm okay with them trying to recreate it, to understand it. But should we really try to create artificial humans? To create us in another form? Why? We're perfect as we are. If we learn to let go of technology, to not become too dependent on it, maybe we can find the inner strength in us to become better, for betterment. Not try to make everything just a machination so that we don't have to deal with today's problems. We should try and stop hiding behind that which can be perfect and try to make ourselves perfect. Third most important factor that AI does not possess. AI does not have the capacity to adapt as humans can. This is really something that can be mostly seen in humans and animals. Sure, you can make a program in which the computer makes an algorithm function in which it can adapt to a situation that has just arisen. But we have been doing that for thousands and thousands of years. Adapting to a situation to the slightest amount of bits and inches is part of us. A computer can adapt, but there will always be a piece, a part in which they won't be able to adapt to. That we can. They can't do that. Now just imagine if we had an AI robot in every home that has all the knowledge and all the intelligence. Wouldn't we become lazy? I mean, they have all the information. Why should I look for it? I can just ask them to do it. And what if they're trained to do household tasks? Wouldn't we become even lazier? I mean, they would do all the job. They would clean, they would cook, they would take care of the house, they would repair it. We would be doing nothing. We'd become more lazy. And pray tell, what if they start doing things like exercising for us? My God, obesity would skyrocket. Diabetes will become type 3 and 4. We will become the laziest beings on earth. Being machines, they can suffer technical difficulties. What if they become short-circuited, a pipe bursts, or a circuit becomes fried? And let's say that artificial intelligence machine is connected to an information bank, or worse, some other machine that can help other people live. It would be a huge dilemma for us, wouldn't it? Imagine if the military decides to create artificial intelligence machines of war, and they become hacked. Scary proposition, eh? The enemies, our enemies, will have control. We're gonna be in some deep trouble if that happens. At one point, an author called Isaac Asimov decided to create the 3 laws of robotics, which are things to keep the robot in check and make sure it doesn't become a threat. The first law states that a robot may not harm a human, or, through inaction, allow a human to be harmed. The second law states that a robot must achieve any order given to it by a human unless it conflicts with the first law. And the third law states that a robot will protect its own existence unless said rule conflicts with the first or second laws. There is another law, the zeroth law, which was invented by Isaac Asimov himself, which states that a robot cannot harm humanity or, through inaction, allow humanity to be harmed. And so, artificial intelligence ends up as the perfect combination of science, technology, and many other areas, which will allow us to recreate us, which is normal for us. Humanity has long since evolved and will keep evolving. Possibly, they will lead themselves down a path of self-destruction that will allow them to recreate themselves for other measures. As I've already said, artificial intelligence may be a boom, but I know that somewhere along the line it will become a problem. Things will not be as before. They may become lazier. They may try to overtake us. There may be a fault in their circuitry and their way of thinking that will allow them to see things in a different way. Just imagine, a robot cannot feel like us, cannot think like us. They may be able to adapt to a situation, but not as much as we can. At one point, something will happen, I'm sure of it. Something bad. We have to stop artificial intelligence from being created and just keep them at what they are, normal robots. AI does not have possessed feeling.